Hello, beautiful souls. This is Masami. I hope you are doing well. Well, this is a video about the pre-solar eclipse into the solar eclipse weekend and what I would recommend you avoid doing. So energetically and emotionally speaking, it's the time when we are feeling a lot and our emotions are right on the surface. It's hard to hide or have the patience to restrain or withhold our thoughts and what we want to say. Okay. So you may find yourself reacting a lot to things, and maybe even the smallest things, and things that normally wouldn't bother you will be slightly bothersome this week. And into the weekend, you're definitely going to feel that. So it almost feels like right now, many of us feeling like this, like a live wire, that's buzzing. And if it gets touched, it just kind of zaps and then buzzes. Okay. So it's really, I'm noticing a sense of like easily triggered kind of feelings are here. Sensitivity is way up. So we can get easily irritated. We can get angered very like simply with almost nothing. You just get very, very angry. I've noticed myself going into that, this week. And I thought, oh, whoa, I need to recognize all this is happening. And I mean, number one, knowing what's happening can be very helpful for all of us, right? So that's been very important for me because then I can be kind to myself. And other things that you might be noticing besides being, irritable and easily angered is that maybe you feel easily overwhelmed or overstressed, agitated, and sometimes like you could get a little OCD about things and instability or, feel out of balance, not just physically, but emotionally, psychically, energetically too. And you can become a little bit controlling because of all these things are happening. And if you're not aware of it, that the energetically we are going towards the solar eclipse, that can really confuse our metabolic rates and our body itself because the sun is going to get covered by the moon, right? So that can really confuse our system. And if you're not aware of that, then you may run with the controlling kind of behavior because everything seems to be like confusing and irritating and things are unstable. So, just pause for a moment and just say, okay, everything's going to be okay. This is not the week to really get too judgmental about some of your behaviors either. Maybe just take a couple extra breaths and recognize that, okay, this is what's happening. I don't need to control this situation. Maybe guide yourself through like that. And because of all this is happening, there will be a heightened fear of failure. Okay. So you begin to really become highly critical of your own self too, that you're not doing things the right way, or you haven't produced something, or my gosh, I'm not being productive. And, to be honest with you, this is not the week to be extremely productive. And I'm just going to tell you that. Okay. And so I don't want you to be so pushing yourself to the point that you just feel so run down and feel badly about who you are, because we are going to have a little bit less mental focus this week. You're going to have a little bit of issues with processing things, like coming up with ideas and maybe holding on to the concepts, or like the memory could be a little bit wishy-washy, or you could go into brain fog a little bit. Decision making can be a little bit tough. You may struggle to make goals and problem solve and create long-term goals, and things like that can be very challenging. So I actually don't recommend, and I would actually avoid making important decisions this week, and especially like signing life-altering contracts. Avoid. Okay. So refrain from making goals, especially long-term goals. Resist the temptation to respond to an email that can potentially bring more fights and create more waves. And disengage from things that can have a potential irritability mixed into it, and you can kind of see it coming. just disengage from that. Okay. Do not go into problem solving mode because that is not required. And I would just take this week and slow it down. You don't need to digest everything. Don't need to metabolize everything. You don't need to figure everything out this week. Okay. So once again, avoid things that are connected to important decision making. Certainly avoid signing contracts or long-term goals or long-term commitments. So that's what I have for you. And I hope this kind of information is helping you navigate the solar eclipse, pre-solar eclipse period. And if you're interested in learning more about it, I went into much more detail about this and into the intermittent fasting recommendations and why that's important particular time to do this during the solar eclipse period. So if you're interested in that kind of information, please check out the program. I'll put the link below and you can still register and join us for the live call that is happening on Saturday. And it'll be right after the solar eclipse period. So we will have a chance to kind of talk about it, digest it, and I will give you some pointers in how to navigate that weekend, this coming weekend, into the next week. Okay, well, I look forward to being with you. Please subscribe if you enjoy these kind of videos and give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and then also learning a lot from these kind of videos. I love hearing from you and seeing your comments as well. All right, be with you soon. Namaste.